Some people have a brand new business that has made no money yet. Are there funding options for those people?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it is limited.
The doors are going to be open, probably wider, if you
Yeah.
coming in with your stuff together. Okay.
Yes, you can borrow more money than you can make.
Mm.
And what that means is your credit score sometimes can get you more leverage than actually you trying to make the cash to do it by yourself.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Calvin Russell here. Super excited to bring back another guest speaker. All right. Now, you guys actually met this couple virtually. We just actually did a video with them recently. And listen, there's been so much feedback, so many comments, a lot of people. And listen, you guys have been wanting for us to bring them back. And that's what we wanted to do here. All right. So either way, listen, they're pressed for time, and I got a lot of questions for them, and we're most definitely going to make sure that you guys are ready to get your notepads out for this information. All right. So of course, we're super excited to bring back Gloria and Marvin Smith. Can you guys hear us? Okay.
Yes, yes. How you doing today?
Doing good. Doing good. How about you guys?
Amazing. Amazing.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys know how my audience is. We like to get right into it. All right.
That's
So,
right.
all right. So, real quick though, of course, we got so much great feedback from the last time that we spoke with you all. From what I've been hearing, a lot of people have been, speaking with you all and actually getting their questions answered. Some people have already started the process of getting some business funding as well, too. Right.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
after
right.
you posted that last video, man, we started getting appointments right away. And
Awesome.
we started helping them out, answering their questions.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
awesome. That is absolutely amazing. All right. So here's the thing too, but I know you guys know way more than that. Cause see, last time, listen, we was pressed for a little bit of time, and but I know you all know a lot more stuff than a lot of these people, not just for talking about business funding,
Right.
but just know a lot because a lot of people talk about business funding, but they're not getting the results for people. But I see that you guys are. Let's get right into it. So, what are some business funding strategies that nobody is talking about right now?
Well, like you had mentioned in the last video, sometimes, if people don't want to go through setting up a structure, you can get funded as a sole proprietor. So that's definitely one way. And then another way, I'm gonna go out there a little bit. If somebody wants to buy a business, we can actually help them get funding to go out and buy an existing business. Some people don't want to do the startup phase. Maybe they're getting ready to retire, but they still want to do something. We can actually help them get funding to buy one.
Wow. Wow. That's most definitely different. Let's dive deeper into that. So now, if a person wants to buy a business,
Uh,
are there certain types of qualifications specifically for like do you guys care about the business they're buying, or you guys just look at that hey, this is just an amount that they need to get funding for?
no, you have to look at both.
Okay.
So, in one aspect, the lender will want to look at the borrower to make sure that they're sound enough to be able to afford to buy a business. And then also, yeah, the actual buyer of the business will have to do some due diligence to make sure the business is legit. They may show you figures, but you got to go in and double check all that. So it is a much more involved process.
Yeah.
But like you said, we do other things as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. That's good to know. That's good to know. And and a lot of people don't talk about that enough. Buying other businesses. A lot of
Yeah.
people think they got to start from, having a business from scratch. But we see stuff all the time. Car washes that have signs that say under new management, or
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
laundromats that say under new ownership, right? And
Right.
Yes. Correct.
and what you're saying is you guys can put people in that same position. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Most definitely.
All right. Awesome. All right, guys. So now another question I had was what advice would you all give entrepreneurs that are looking to explore unconventional funding avenues for their business ventures?
Yes, there's so many different ways to fund out there nowadays. Like you have all these fintechs where
Yeah.
they just want to log into your bank account. A lot of times you may not have good credit, so but you need funding fast and you already have a business up and running.
Right.
So just making sure that you have all of your funds going into your bank account
Yeah.
is number one. That's very important. Not to Cash App, not to Venmo, not to PayPal. But if you do have it going to those different avenues, what you want to do is make sure that they're depositing to your bank account,
Correct.
because there's a lot of different untraditional ways to get money to keep your business afloat, because we know that this economy is moving like really, really fast, and people are having a hard time right now. But if you do the simple things like making sure all your funds are going to your bank account, make sure that you set yourself up with QuickBooks, because they may just want to have, hey, can I log into your bank account and can you send me a P&L? And that can get you the money that you need if your credit is not where it needs to be.
Got you. You know what? You hit on a couple things that I know for a fact. I know you business owners are out there doing this because I was doing it too, right? When you just mentioned, you know, and we don't know what we don't know, you know, and, you know, but let's talk about that. So how does it hurt businesses, or how does it hurt business owners when they use Cash App as far as business funding is concerned?
Well, some bankers or some lenders will look at the start of your business by your business bank account. So they'll want to see bank statements. And you're not going to be able to give them statements with PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. They're not going to look at those. They want to see a traditional bank statement showing the beginning balance and the ending balance, because of course, that's what's going to shape your profit and loss statement.
Right. Wow. And you know what? You talked about that too. A lot of business owners, they just focus on starting the business, getting the business structured, how I'm going to make money. And that's usually it. Let's talk about the importance of that P&L statement. So now, obviously, you mentioned that they could use something like QuickBooks or something like that. But how important of a role does a profit and loss statement play when you're trying to get funding for your business?
It's very important. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not an accountant, so it's like I need some help. So if my banker asks me, "Hey, Gloria, I have $150,000 for you, but I just need your P&L." You know, I don't have a P&L. But if you have QuickBooks and you have everything going into your QuickBooks, all that is linking your banking to your QuickBooks, and you can. QuickBooks have tutorials to show you how to set your QuickBooks up. It's really, really easy. And, you know, you can go ahead and hit that button and it'll create the profit and loss statement for you. You don't have to try to figure it out. Like, there's tools out here to help us be successful. We just have to use them.
And then you got to make sure that you're making a profit. A bank does not want to lend to a company that's losing money. So, you know, sometimes, and these are little tweaks that you can do. You can get a vendor account set up just to put off a few more days of paying a bill. And that can mean the difference of your bank statement being profitable that month or lost that month.
Most definitely.
Wow. And you know what? Man, you hit it right on the head. And you know what? There's a lot of resources out there, like Gloria just mentioned, and we're not utilizing them. We're not maximizing it. Man, that's huge. Right.
I'm gonna give you an example. Like, for example, we have a restaurant in Georgia. And so one of our vendors is Cisco. Now, I've been in the restaurant business a long time. I never tried to get a net 7 or a net 14. So they offer a net 7, and they offered me a net 7 where I buy my groceries today and I don't have to pay that bill for 7 days from today. So it gives me the opportunity to make the money and then pay them. So it's like I'm not paying money up front. That makes such a big difference in the restaurant industry for Marvin and I, until now it's like, I don't have to be worried about holding on to all this food or ordering all this food and I'm not selling it, and I have to pay the bill before I sell the food. Now I sell the food and then pay for the food.
Exactly.
Wow. So, you know, so that's how these groceries, so that's how a lot of businesses are doing this then. Wow. And you know what? I think so many people are used to bootstrapping their businesses. You know, waiting to make a certain amount of money. Then it take a while for that to happen. And then the company is essentially waiting for the company to expand the company. You know,
definitely.
And we even got one lender for a big box retailers. So, like, say you have water inside Walmart, and you need, you know, time to be able to pay for the product and then let it sit on the shelf and sell. We have lenders that'll help out big box retailers as well.
Wow. Okay. You know what though? Hold on, man. Because listen, y'all moving. Yeah, we going fast on this one. We about to because let me tell you something. You know, being in business, it's not a lot of people that you can like have this kind of conversation with. And usually when you're talking about money, whether it's funding or expenses, P&L, stuff like that,
Right.
Some people just not ready to have that type of conversation or know how to have that conversation. So
That's true.
Exactly.
and that's why I want to make sure we about to get everything we can out of y'all today.
Right. Right.
So here, Gloria mentioned something that I think that was key. You mentioned like a net 7 or some other net type terms. So there are other net terms out there outside of just net 30 for businesses.
Most definitely. There's a lot of different net. The most important thing about it is finding what your business needs,
Right.
and seeing if you can set up a vendor account with them. A lot of times they have vendor accounts, but they don't tell you they have vendor accounts. We know not because we ask not.
Yeah.
You have to ask those pertinent questions. Like a lot of people didn't know Amazon has a net 55.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody orders from Amazon. Every business can use Amazon. Can you imagine 55 days? You have 55 days to pay your Amazon bill.
That's amazing. That's all. They may as well give me 5 more days and make it 2 months. But
exactly.
Yes.
But that's huge though, because I'm sure, my wife and I, we went to a candle making class here in Chicago.
Nice.
And it was amazing. But and I noticed because just being in YouTube and or just business owners in general, everybody buys stuff from Amazon.
Right.
And they were telling us a story, and they was like, yeah, we buy this stuff all the time. And like you said, people spending they're buying stuff on an automatic basis almost from Amazon.
Yeah.
But they're paying it right off the back when they could probably expand or scale their business if they did have that 30-day window or this 55-day window. So that's amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's a bunch of cards like that. And sometimes we get stuck on Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and we forget about these other accounts that may give you a little bit more time just in case you have a slow month or a slow season. Those days start to add up. They start to count.
They do.
Right. Now, hold on. Now you said that it's some other accounts. What other accounts are we talking about here, Mark?
Well, like Gloria said, the net 7s, net 14s, the vendor accounts where you can actually get more time. Then you even have cards. Like we just talked about a gas card in the video where it actually gives the truck drivers digital cams. It gives them GPS tracking and it's a MasterCard.
What?
So
hold up.
Yeah.
Let's back this back.
And it's a no PG.
And it's no personal guarantee.
No personal guarantee.
Yeah.
Listen, we gotta break it down. All right. So now, what's the benefits again for this? What industry is this good for, and how does a person go about applying for that?
Well, for like truckers, for example, it helps them save on fuel. Number one, it helps them prevent fraud because
hold on, baby. Let's tell them how it helps you save on fuel. Gives you a location in your area. You can just pull it up, and it tells you what gas station you need to go to in order to be cheap, the cheapest gas station that's going to save you, and you get rewards for it.
Right.
So no more just pulling up at the gas station just hoping the price is the best.
No. You can pull up the app and it'll tell you which gas station is on the expressway ahead of you and which one has the cheaper prices. So now you don't have to guess. You know before you even get there.
Most definitely.
Oh man, that's amazing. Now I know everyone that's watched this is obviously not in the trucking industry, but some people may be in the transportation industry. Do you think that they could probably apply for that same thing?
Most definitely.
You could be in Turo, the Turo type business, box trucks, semi trucks, anything like you said with transportation that can help you with GPS, helps reduce fraud, and the main thing is you're saving on fuel.
Right.
Even if you have your account in your business name, you're doing business. So it's not just for truckers, it's for business owners.
Correct.
So it could really, really help you. And it's not just a fleet card. It's actually a MasterCard.
Right.
So if you need to go get your brakes done, you can put it on that MasterCard, and you get discounts and you get reward points for it. So this is an amazing card, and you don't have to PG it. No personal guarantor.
Right.
Listen, wow. What's the name of that again?
This one is called a Motive card. MOTIVE. Motive.
Wow, Motive card. Let's hope I keep telling. Listen, this is for the audience. I keep telling you all, this is why we bring these types of guests here. All right. They know what they're talking about. I hope you guys are writing this stuff down in your notepads. All right. So now let's go back a bit. Let's go back a bit because we love supporting businesses. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we talked about this in the last video, but for people that are new to the channel, you of course you mentioned that you have a restaurant. What kind of food y'all serving and where is it at?
Go ahead.
It's in Mapleton, Georgia, and we serve, American cuisine like
Right.
your lamb chops, and we have omelets and
Shrimp
and grits and
Yeah.
salmon, shrimp and grits. So it's really amazing.
and vegan food.
And vegan. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and we cannot
Now,
leave
okay,
our
and what's the name of your restaurant?
Cafe Social House.
Cafe Social House. All right, perfect. Listen, make sure you guys go ahead and support that business at Cafe Social House, and that is right there in Mapleton, Georgia. So that is amazing. Listen, you had me at shrimp and grits.
Right.
So we most definitely gonna be showing you guys showing the audience some photos of the food and such. If you guys are near that area, support some businesses out here, guys. Support some businesses.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so let's get back into it. So okay, great, man. So listen, that motive card is a game changer.
Yes,
It is.
yes, it is.
Mhm.
All right. So now, what are some common? You know what? No. Before I go into that, you mentioned trucking. Now, have you all helped any type of transportation or trucking companies get business funding recently? How much was that, and what was that profile looking like?
Okay. So we did have a client. Well, we do have a client, I should say, because we're still working with him. He's been our client for probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what it's about for us. We're not just going to help you and then just send you on your way.
Right.
We want to help you scale, like nurture our clients. That's what it's about. So he's been with us for 5 years, and he initially came to us with, not a high credit score.
Right.
Yeah.
So we helped him with his credit. We helped him scale his credit. And then he was like, Marvin and Gloria, I want to buy a truck.
Yeah.
I would like to, he gave us a list of things that he wanted to do. Because I'm going to say he kind of inspired us to go ahead and put our mentorship program together.
Yeah.
So then he ended up purchasing a truck.
Yeah.
He's been driving. He's had his truck. We helped him get his LLC set up.
Wow.
We helped him go through all the motions. And now Marvin, and then he ended up, so we created the mentorship, and he was like, well, I'm going to pay you for the mentorship since you've been helping me all of this time.
Yeah.
Then we end up helping him raise. How much did Marvin raise? About $250?
Yeah, Marvin's got about 250,000, and his name is Marvin as well.
Well, I was about to say, I was like, wait, we're not talking about the Marvin that's next to you, but no problem.
Right. Yeah, he was able to raise $250,000. He got his own trailer last year,
Yes.
and now he drives loads for Amazon.
Yes. He created another entity where now he's planning on having an authority
To freight broker. He's going to do freight broker.
Yeah, freight broker. So we're just totally helping him scale. And we have an amazing mentorship program where we help you scale your business. We help you set the business up. Like last night was our call.
Yeah.
And I brought on an accountant.
Yeah.
We're going to bring you the experts. So we're not going to just send you out there and tell you all this wrong information like a lot of people do, because people are telling people wrong information
About structure.
structure and all of those other things. But what we're doing is we're getting the expert in the room for you.
Correct.
Got you. Listen, this is crazy. This is good information. I want to ask you guys a personal question.
Okay.
How does that make you feel when you're able to take someone not just from not knowing something to knowing something, but putting someone in a position to even be a distributor for someone like Amazon? How does that feel?
Yeah, I think, of course we all want to make money, but that is one of the best feelings ever. Like hearing him say it last night on the call, he was like, I met Marvin and Gloria and I had bad credit and I was driving for somebody else for over 18 years.
Wow.
But he said, now after meeting Marvin and Gloria, I've been having my own company for the last 5 years. And like you said, as an individual, it feels amazing to help somebody go somewhere that maybe he thought he wasn't going to be able to do, because he came from a not so good neighborhood. And now he's like the one in his family that's probably, changing the trajectory of his family.
Well, I will be honest. Sometimes it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because when we go out places, like one time Marvin and I was in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And this lady just walked up to me and hugged me. And I'm like,
Wow.
do I know you?
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of scared me.
Yeah.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
was like, I was just over there talking to Marvin, and he sent me right over here to you because I was telling him, you guys changed my life. My credit is amazing. And she said, I told him I wanted to give you a hug, and he told me to go over there and come over and hug you. And I was like, oh, okay. So he kind of like, but at first I was like, whoa. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it kind of changed everything. I was like, oh, okay. So Marvin sent you over, and then we had a nice, you know, the dialogue was so amazing, and that's just an amazing feeling. But sometimes it'd be like, whoa, okay, where do I know you from? Do I need to remember this young lady?
Yeah, right. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And you know what? Like you said, there's a lot of people out here giving wrong information.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's detrimental because people will follow that and it'll set them back, you know. And you all mentioned something that's very key that I think a lot of people don't really talk about. And that's the fact that, you know, for example, the gentleman you mentioned, the truck driver, he had been driving for someone for over 18 years.
Yeah.
You know, and how he's been working with you all is because it's not just people think that business funding is like a one-off.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Right.
And it's like, hey, I need the money and goodbye. But you all have the mentorship. You know, hey, first off, I want to listen. Everyone watching this, if you all want to schedule a call with Marvin and Gloria, just even if you're not ready yet, but you just got some questions, go ahead and scan this QR code right here at the top, right there. Okay. And the link is also going to be in the description below. Get your questions answered. This is the year. We're no longer throwing Jell-O on the wall. Okay. We're not doing that. Okay.
Right.
No more walking in blind, you know, just saying, you know, I'm going to start this business. And here, because you know what I noticed? And this is a deeper conversation. I don't even think my audience is ready for this one.
Let's do it.
When people come from different countries, I'm not knocking races or anything like that, but when people come from different countries, they already have either the money, or even if they don't have the money, they say to themselves, you know what? I'm going to get the funding. So they are in their minds, they're automatically knowing I'm going to position myself so I can qualify to get the business funding to support my business or expand, or, you know, so like these Dunkin' Donuts ain't just popping up. These gas stations, they not just popping up. You know, y'all from Chicago, these Sharks chickens, they not just popping up.
Yeah,
it's a plan. You know, and what you hit on a great point. It's a plan, and that's where we start out in the beginning of our mentorship. First, talking about your goals.
Yeah.
You know, where are you going with this? What do you want to achieve? We want a 3-year, 2-year, 1 year, 6 months, and 3-month goals before we even get started. Because otherwise, where are you going with your business? Because most of the time people start out with an idea, but they really don't have a plan.
Most definitely.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Listen, we trying to make y'all a part of people's plan. We trying to make you guys a part of people's plan. So now here, I know, of course, we spent a lot of time talking about the trucking business, things of that sort, but I got a lot of business owners that's watching this, and people that's gonna be watching this video. So now what are some other recent client success stories that you all have with business funding for some different industries?
Okay, one guy, we got Jason. He came in from Tennessee, and Jason has like an e-commerce business. Okay. He got in our mentorship. I think it took about 2 weeks. Okay. We got everything in order, looked at his goals, looked at his company, looked at his credit, and he was able to get $44,000 within about 2 weeks, no documentation. And now he's able to get that business off the ground, and he's not done. I mean, he's still going for more funding. Yeah. But in 2 weeks to get $44,000, he was incredibly happy about it.
And let me put this disclaimer out here. Now, Jason had great credit.
Yes, he did.
So don't think that we can create a miracle.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse nowadays to have bad credit. If you are a business owner, start working on getting yourself in position to get your credit on point, because once you do that, the doors are open for you.
Yeah.
You know, but they're going to slowly start to close. So they, you know, we tell people all the time, get in position, because right now we can get money with no documentation, but it's going to get to the point where you're going to have documentation to get some of this money.
And that's why we brought in an accountant last night, even our new mentees, to show them, hey, start getting your paperwork in order. So
Yes.
now you can get
Right off the bat, right?
Most definitely.
You know, let your documentation dominate the conversation.
Absolutely. And you know what, we talked a little bit about that last time.
Yeah.
You know, on the other video, how, you know, and some people want docs, some people want no docs, and it's like, listen, get yourself together first.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. Let's start there first before we start just walk. Because Gloria hit a great point. She says, listen, the doors are going to be open, probably wider, if you coming in with your stuff together.
Yes.
Okay? You know, but I do want to circle back. I got so many questions. I'm not letting y'all go today. I'm not.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
All right.
We
So
are
now,
ready.
all right. So now, okay, we talked about the guy. So now you said, okay, he had great credit. Now, I do have some business owners on here that have different situations.
Okay.
Some people have a brand new business that has made no money yet.
Right.
Are there funding options for those people?
Yes. It is limited. You know, you can get started with, you know, a brand new business. I mean, we've seen cases where a person could go to the bank, open up a banking account. Once again, this is for people with good credit. They may get offered a business line of credit right there when they open a bank account.
Or a credit card. Or a credit card. Like even us, when we opened up the cafe, we opened up the bank account. Bank of America automatically offered us a credit card.
But I'm gonna go where I think Calvin is saying. Say to people that have bad credit,
right?
You know, the challenge is you got to go ahead and work on your credit to get it straight. Because if you have no income in the beginning, then the bank is looking like, how do we get repaid?
Most definitely.
But and let's also think about a business owner that's 6 months or a year. We got a new lender where if you're only 6 months in business, you only made $25,000 a year. Now they'll give you a loan. You know, it may be short term, it may be not so great terms, but it might be enough money to get you to the next step.
Most definitely.
Right. Okay, got you. So we talked about that. If they got a brand new business, but they don't have the income, the revenue yet, that there are funding options for them. Perfect. Got that. The next question I have, what if someone, I think we covered that. So if they have no revenue, we have options for those people. If they don't have the best credit, we have options for those people as well. Okay, perfect. All right. So now, is there like a minimum that a company would make where you say that things get easier? I know that there are options out there if they don't have a lot of revenue, but what would you say would be like the ideal revenue to just expand the most options? I know the more the better, but I like to kind of give people something to shoot for.
Yeah, I would say the ideal, without going over the top, if you had a 680 credit score, and then you make about 120,000 annually, and you know you're averaging 10 to 12,000 a month, I think that's a great spot to actually get started. Like that's probably the minimum most lenders want to see. You know, if you don't have the greatest credit, and then of course the higher the numbers, the higher the credit score, the wider it opens up as far as lending is concerned. But I'm like you, Calvin, I don't want to discourage anybody.
That's
because if there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. And one of the things is, you know, like you can be a startup business and have no income coming in. Some people have businesses that are 2 years old. And they haven't had any income coming in because they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do with that business. We can get you funded right away long as you have at least a 720 credit score. There's no issues with that. You can still get a no documentation loan as long as that business is 2 years old.
Got you. Okay, listen, audience, I hope y'all writing this stuff down. This is saving people hours of research. Hours of watching videos. Hours of being sent. You know, listen, people, I know I ain't the only one. People have filled out a funding application. This was years ago. And filling out, you know, business funding applications. And I'm talking about, man, like, you know, you don't know what to ask for, what you're doing. You know, and sometimes you just need to ask a question, the right questions. I keep telling people that. And you know what, and Marvin, you touched on something moments ago, and it is, hey, listen, don't get discouraged. Find out what the strategy needs to be. Find out what that plan needs to be. Listen, some of you all need a coach. And all you need to do is schedule. You guys can schedule a call. It's right here. The QR code is right here.
Yes.
You can schedule a call with Marvin and Gloria and find a day and time that works best for you. And either get your questions answered, consider their mentor, program. And listen, they are helping regular people, regular everyday people, take their business to the next level. So we ain't done yet. I got some questions here.
Good.
Now, okay. Now we talked about that. I really like how you mentioned, because a lot of people think that they need hundreds of thousands of dollars to take their business to the next level. But like the story you just mentioned about how you was able to help the gentleman get 44,000 within a couple of weeks, and I think people don't understand the power or the strength within their credit score. I don't think they understand that.
Exactly. Your credit score could, I always heard this slogan: you can borrow more money than you can make. And what that means is your credit score sometimes can get you more leverage than actually you trying to make the cash to do it by yourself. Because with most business owners, I think, babe, we see all the time, they raise money one time.
And that's it.
And then that's it. They just stop. And I think the mentality you have to have is, okay, every 6 months, I'm going shopping. I'm going to look for more money. You got to shop for money just like you shop for everything else.
And let me pick up on that.
I like that.
I was one of those people when I first, how long it's been? Probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
When I opened my first restaurant. Okay. Great credit, came from corporate America, great job. And I have this dream, like a lot of our viewers out here. They may have a dream of being an entrepreneur, in my mind, it's like, I need to leave a legacy for my family. This was prior to me meet my amazing husband and getting married. I was a single mom and I knew that I wanted to be a business owner. It was in my spirit. It was in my soul.
Yeah.
And I didn't raise enough capital. I thought I had it all together because I had money in the bank.
Right.
I had a few credit cards.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up a new business. But I didn't quite understand. I didn't have a coach or a mentor to help me, guide me opening up this new business.
Yeah.
So when times got bad, I used all my money. I went through my money really fast. Well, I raised money to open the business. Then by the time I finished, I was like, okay, I'm going to have a certain amount for working capital.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. It was a little bit because everything I budgeted opening up the business, I went over budget. I end up finding out, okay, I have this problem. So it's going to cost you a little bit more money that I didn't anticipate. So you have to put in, extra money for things happen. Yeah. And you have to raise enough money to have more than enough for working capital. So if you came to me, Calvin, and said, hey, Gloria, I'm working on a project. It's going to cost, I'm going to need about $50,000 for the project. Right. I'm going to tell you, no, we want you to get $150,000. Yes. I'm not going to get you $50,000. So we just never, most businesses go out of business because they don't have enough capital.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? That's so true. Because if they had the capital, they could have put a different marketing strategy in place, or inventory issue could have been solved, or whatever that was. But you hit it right on the head. And it's not like companies are choosing, to go that route. They don't even, things are just not set up for that, or it's too late. So, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know what? So now let's keep going. So we got the person, we got the guy that got the 44,000. We also got the trucker as well too. What's another, I would say, another industry of someone that you guys were able to help, and what did that profile look like?
We had like the barber industry. So once again, one of our mentees that I met years ago, I was getting my haircut actually. Okay. And he started talking to me about his business. Yeah. And then as I'm getting my haircut, I realized, hey, where are you at with your credit? He didn't have the best credit. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't super high. Yeah. So, we actually coached him on how to raise his credit score, how to deposit all of his money as a barber into his account every day. Because in the beauty industry, now they have so many different ways to get paid and where they get paid from. So we were teaching him, put it all in one account. He started doing that. And then he started applying at banks for lines of credit. And I think at this time, he said last night in our mentee call, that he had six figures. I want to say it was somewhere around 300,000 to 400,000 in lines of credit and loans that he's raised over the last few years, and that's as a barber.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what? I think a lot of barbers, or me personally, of course we get our haircuts, but I don't even think about that, the expenses or what's needed to, to scale that type of business or whatever the case is. But like you said, people need funding, to do whatever they're trying to do in their businesses. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So now there is another question I had, and I wanted to know if this was true or not. Can you get a business credit card without having a business?
Yes, all day long. Yeah, like we see this more than not. Like a lot of times, all you got to do is use your name. You can use your name as the business, and they still will give you. Most banks are doing this now. They'll give you a business credit card as a sole proprietor.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what's the benefits of having a business credit card versus a personal credit card, in your opinion?
Well, I think the main thing is that the debt is not showing on your personal credit for the most part. So now, to me, that's how you totally separate, the business expenses and the business debt from the personal debt. Because if you don't separate it, sometimes it'll get in the way of you maybe getting a mortgage or buying a car, because it'll appear that you have more debt than you should. And so, I don't always agree with the sole proprietor type of structure. I like LLCs and C corps, but whatever you got to do to keep it separated from your personal, because what happens with most business owners, they either write off too much or they seem like they have too much debt, and it's all over the place, and it's hard to separate.
Because they commingle.
Correct,
They
exactly.
do too much commingling. And that's one of the reasons why we brought the accountant on last night. So he can tell you about setting up your structure right, double taxation. There's so many things that we don't realize, the small things that could really just change everything in our business.
Yeah. Y'all got to send me that accountant's information too. I got to find out who this is.
Yes.
Now that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So now, let's go back into that. So now, because I want to talk about this, because we got a couple questions about this, and I said, let me ask the experts on this. Okay. And so now, so you're saying that they could do it as a sole prop. Is there any other documentation you think that's needed for that application process, or will they ask for like income or anything like that to get that business credit card without a business?
Well, once again, this always goes back to credit score. Credit score kind of dominates everything. So the higher the score, the less documentation. Like I actually just got off the phone right before this interview with a Chase banker, and he was like, Marvin, look, as long as it's under 100, they don't have to have as much documentation. He said, if I was a business owner, I would do the same thing, write off as much as I can, but it hurts you. It kind of keeps you, to me, it keeps you in a box. You can get stuff up to 100, but anything over 100, you need documentation. And you were asking about what documentation. As a sole proprietor, the only thing you're really going to have pretty much is bank statements, because that's the only way you're going to be able to prove that you have income. Maybe a business license, that you could do. But I think it's just so much better to upgrade to a LLC or a C corp.
Absolutely.
And majority of the time with the credit card, they're not asking for a document, depending on where you're going.
They
don't ask for many docs like that. If you're going to like some of the bigger banks like Chase and Bank of America, you can get a credit card and as a sole proprietor, and it's not a big, deal where you gotta show a lot of documentation.
Got you. I got another question now. With a lot of these banks that you all are using and funding strategies and options, things of that sort, have you guys seen any recent changes as to like what they're requiring between low doc, no doc, or has everything been about the same lately?
No, I've seen it tighten up. I mean, we actually got calls, like, for example, Truist Bank. Now it seems like every other application, they may ask for tax transcripts. Also, they're even looking at the business credit profile. Like if you don't have an Equifax business profile, or you don't have anything reporting on your Experian business profile, that may cause red flags, because they're like, if you're in business, why don't you have any other credit accounts? And some of those accounts could be vendor accounts. Doesn't have to be MasterCard, Visa, or American Express, but they're looking like if you're in business, they're expecting you to have different vendor accounts.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
tightening up the screws a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
before, you know, these banks, they're taking losses and they're tightening up the screws. So you're not going to be able to go and just say, "Hey, I have a business. Can you give me 50,000?" Okay,
Right.
show me that you have a legitimate business.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Listen, I mean, I can only imagine what people are going through out there. And, you know, because I remember what that was like. And it's not always the topic, you know, but you know what though? And I'm so glad we kind of dived into this little piece because we talked about revenue, we talked about credit scores, being in business, things of that sort. Is there like a certain amount of trade lines that that a person should have as far as business credit that would help them? I know the more the better, but what's like the minimum that a person should kind of shoot for?
Well, I would shoot for at minimum 3 to 5. Because what happens with business credit, you got to remember there is no Fair Credit Reporting Act. There is no FDCPA, which means there's no government body over business credit. So it may report, it may not report. So I would try to get as many business accounts open as I can that you will use. I'm going to put that in there. Make sure you use them because sometimes we listen to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and we just go open it because we heard it online. But get the accounts that you will actually use. So now, more than likely, they're going to report. And then they do have websites that can help you start reporting stuff like your bills. I mean, like utility bill, phone bill, the rent. You can report all of the things that you have to have for a business. And then if you want to talk the maximum amount of trade lines, there is no maximum, number one, but I would shoot for 14 business trade lines. If you really want strong business credit, try to get at least 14.
Most definitely.
See, nobody's talking about that.
Right.
Nobody's saying that. So that is some good information. That's some good information for sure. Listen, like I said, no matter where you are, where you guys are in your business funding journey, I know you guys got questions. Make sure you guys go and scan that QR code right here at the top right of the screen, or click the link down in the description below to schedule a call with Marvin and Gloria and get those questions answered. And consider it, and find out more about their mentorship as well too. That way you guys can again get this information. This is amazing. A lot of people aren't doing what you all are doing, and it's more than just educating people. It's more than just YouTube videos. It's more than just giving some tips. You guys are holding people's hands. From having pocket dust.
Right. to a dream.
But it's the right. And what's crazy is that it sounds like it's a gray area or there's gonna be some shadiness, and really people just don't know what's already out there.
Yes.
Like banks survive off a lot of this stuff that we're talking about. They need, and that's when you really think about it. Banks need businesses. They need businesses to take this money. And I mean, that's what keeps this whole thing going.
Exactly. And they have guidelines. And the thing I think we teach more than anything are the banking guidelines. They have set guidelines, and we communicate with the lenders every day.
Yeah, we teamed up with them. So they reached out and they're like, "Hey, we want this relationship. They want the partnership." They're like, "You can bring us customers." So it's really, really important that you understand what they're looking for. And that's part of what we can help you with.
Yeah. And also another thing that we teach in our mentorship is marketing. We don't always want you to just go out and get more debt. Now let's help you make money. And we even have a part of our mentorship where we train businesses on social media.
Why is that? What is that just for, like, just to kind of just brand awareness, or is it more, or does that help with the business side too? Or you're just
well, both. That's a great question. Both, because bankers now, when you're sitting there doing the app, you may not believe it, but they're going to Google you. They're going to figure out very fast, do you have a business? They'll Google your address while they're doing the app. So a lot of these things, you're right, it's for lending purposes. And to me, back in the day, I used to have to pay for billboards, newspapers. You had to pay for a lot of advertising. Now you can pick up a cell phone and it's absolutely free advertising. We tell our business owners, why are you not doing a video every day? Even if you just turn it on live sit it on a tripod and leave it there while you working. It's
Yes.
still awareness, right?
Yes.
Hey, you're not lying.
You know,
No,
it's
that's-
one guy, he's not in our class, but it's
Yeah.
one guy I know of. He put up a cell phone in his barber shop, and now this guy has he's booked like a month out, month or two out just from having. He never said anything. He
just
never
had it up there.
He just put a phone on a tripod and end up getting more business than he can handle.
Insane. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Here, but let's go into some other things, because here I want people to know that this is possible for them.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I want people to hear like something that resonates with them. Not just because we got the facts, we know you guys know what you're talking about, but I want them to kind of see themselves within a person. So let's kind of go into a few more of some clients, some industries that you guys have helped with your clients. So now, what's another story? We got the trucking company, we got the other guy, we got the barbershop. So what else do we have that you all have recently done for people?
All right, the story that probably resonates with me the most. A few years ago, we had a young lady reach out to us on Instagram.
Okay.
And she wanted to jump in our mentorship. We told her how much it was. She borrowed the money from her dad.
Yeah.
She was working at a bank, and she knew she just wanted better for herself.
Yeah.
So she came up. She actually came up to our house, and we started mentoring her. And now, this young lady got into social media. She's into e-commerce. And long story short, this is probably about a 3-4 year span, but she's making $1 million a year now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she didn't have the best credit, but she worked on it in our mentoring program. She worked on it. She actually got on social media. So one of the reasons why we started teaching social media is because most people don't realize, even when you start your business, it's going to be tough. But if you can get free marketing, you really never know where your business can go. Celebrities may contact you. All kinds of stuff could happen with social media.
Brand deals.
Yeah.
Name it.
Right. And a lot of people don't talk about that because you know what? Because they get so focused on, just getting the client, moving on. But there are other revenue streams that people are honestly missing out on. Just because they're not doing the things that you all just mentioned. That's absolutely amazing. So now, okay, I got a couple of other questions as well too. So now, okay, we got that one. What industry was she in?
She was in, it was mainly, she jumped into the credit industry, number one.
Okay.
And then she jumped into business funding. Business credit.
Got it.
And then now she's selling merchandise on Instagram. So it's all in the credit and business credit.
Okay. But the e-commerce store at the end of the day, selling something online.
It's selling something online. Yeah. She's selling I think it's a new book she has now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And so again, audience, I know you guys, a lot of people have online businesses. So again, that most definitely makes a lot of sense. And then what's one more story before we get out of here?
You got another one?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
We have so many.
I would say the physical therapist.
Oh, yes. So one important piece of this is, we tell our mentees, get in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so important. Like Marvin and I, we don't just bring people into our mentorship. We jump into mentorships as well. We have coaches as well. We spend a lot of money on coaching programs, on mentorships, because it's really important. We don't know everything, so we go to the experts so we can learn as well. So we met a physical therapist in one of our programs. In the inner circle that we decided to join. And in that inner circle, we met so many amazing people.
Right.
And you just never know, the people in that room can eventually be your client, or they can help you scale your business a different way.
Yes.
So this young man, he called Marvin up and he was like, Marvin, I need some help with funding.
Yeah.
He was like, I had a little billing problem. So it set me back.
Yeah.
So Marvin was like, okay, no problem. So we were able to help him. What was it, like 100,000?
100,000. Yeah.
We was able to help him get 100,000 in days, in a matter of days.
It took about a few days, and they did a site visit, like you asked, what kind of requirements. They wanted to visit his actual practice and make sure, he was a physical therapist. So they came out, did a site visit. They asked for a few documents, profit and loss, maybe 1 year's taxes, and they end up giving him 100,000. And this, it's the funny thing to me about business owners. I'm like, okay, where are we going next? And usually, I think he felt like he got too much. It was too easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, get more.
Exactly.
Because even if you can't use it at the moment, I would rather have it and not need it.
It's a need it
and not have it.
That is
or not be able to get it.
Or not be able to get it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. You know what? I think we most definitely got to keep educating people that there are about resources that are out here. And here's the thing, key points that you all talked about. People have coaches, they have mentors.
Yes.
And not only that, but when you're around other people and and that's the culture like that, where people are now looking or should be looking to be around the cultures where the habits leads to the goals being accomplished. And man, that's absolutely amazing. So, well, listen, we thank you all so much for taking out your time today and just dropping so much information, all the gems, all the nuggets, and just honestly, y'all literally just gave the strategy and game plan for a lot of people, no matter where they are in their business journey. And like I said, you guys, if you all want to get your question, if you guys got questions about anything about today, make sure you guys go and scan this QR code, schedule a call with Marvin and Gloria, get those questions answered. Doesn't matter if you have no interest in nothing that they're taught, like the mentorship or whatever, get your questions answered. You need to find out, no more just guessing. We're not guessing in 2024. All right. So that's what we need to focus on. So is there anything that you all want to leave with the audience before we get out of here today?
You got anything?
Book a call.
Right.
Book a call.
And I want to say, one thing, make sure you guys are not using bad credit as an excuse. One thing, we get asked week in and week out, it'll be small things. We had a guy last week, he had a 720 credit score, but he had a $150 collection from a gym membership. And I was like, why not just get rid of that and get past that? So now you got a 740 or 800. And I would say, don't let small things hold you back. Sometimes we get mad about the little things, and we should look at getting those distractions out of our way so we can get to the bag, get the money we need for our business.
Absolutely. Well, listen, that's most definitely worth the information. Don't let bad credit stop you. And like Gloria said, y'all better book that call. Okay.
Right.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you all again so much today, taking away time for your business, your restaurants, things of that sort. And we greatly appreciate you all stopping by the channel today. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.